Welcome to Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gallia Academy High School here in Centenary. This is Chris Delaney here with newcomer Matthew Champlin today, where we've got Gallia Academy facing off against the Fairland Dragons in an OVC conference game here at Gallia Academy. Start time's scheduled for 5:30. We're probably a little bit behind schedule. Tonight is senior night for a couple of Gallia Academy seniors, so we'll be covering them briefly before the game. Right now, Fairland is taking their pregame. Then we're going to do a short senior introduction before the game and the national anthem. So, Matthew, what are we looking forward to tonight?
I think this will be a good matchup between Gallia Academy and Fairland here tonight. Looks like a fairly young squad on the Fairland side, but they handle the ball well from what we've seen so far. I think it'll be an exciting matchup. It's a great night for baseball. Some good weather out here at the Bob, thankfully, after the rains last night.
Okay, well, we got a couple of kinks I think we're trying to work through. So, with that, we will let you watch some Fairland take some pregame, and when we come back, we'll do a couple senior introductions and the starting lineups and national anthem. Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to Gallia Academy High School. Chris Delaney again with Matthew Champlin. We're going to go ahead. We've got our senior recognition senior night here at Gallia Academy High School. We have two seniors on the team this year, number 34, Matthew Foster, and number 4, Tyler Young. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, so Matthew Foster tonight's being escorted by his mother, Crystal, his father, Danny, his brothers, Miles and Mason, and his little sister, Molly. Greeted there by Coach Camden as he's being announced on the field by Coach Harris. And they will take their senior walk as they're honored here at the Bob tonight for their years of service to Gallia Academy baseball.
Good, read that.
So Matthew highlights his favorite baseball moment ever is hitting 4 home runs in 2 games in the same day, and that was up at Pomeroy when he was playing youth sports up there. His favorite high school baseball moment was when Yode passed out at the VA. Yode is his fellow senior here tonight. We won't go into the details on how or why that happened, but his statement is that Yode passed out at the VA. So there you have it, Chris.
That's good enough.
His favorite high school moment from this year is walking it off and beating Warren. And his plans after high school are to play college baseball, to pursue welding, and possibly lineman school. So congratulations, Matthew Foster, on your senior season here at Gallia Academy. Next up, we have senior Tyler Young. Tyler is being escorted tonight by his mom, Missy, and his dad, Rod. Again, being announced by Coach Harris, greeted here on the field by Coach Camden. And Tyler highlights his favorite baseball moment ever is whenever he had stolen bags in a game at EKU his sophomore year. Tyler says that his favorite high school baseball moment was whenever he struck out 13 batters against Rock Hill. That's a pretty impressive statement.
Yes, sir, that is.
And he says that his favorite high school moment was when I pulled off my first seat slide. Not really sure what that's all about.
Probably a pop-up slide, maybe.
Yeah, that could be. Plans after high school is Tyler plans to attend Hocking Tech, take the welding program, and I believe that his grandfather had shared with me earlier in the season that he plans on playing baseball up there, post-secondary for Hocking.
Thank you.
Those are our only 2 seniors on the roster tonight. We've got a team that's loaded full of juniors and sophomores. So a lot of youth on this team here at Gallia Academy, which is kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, it's always exciting to look forward, but then also you see, you got 2 really good kids standing out there that have been playing for the last 4 years at Gallia Academy, and it's just something you hate to see it. It's a part of living, and it's part of every single season every year. But you hate to see good kids go on their way. But like I said, it's part of the process. They know it's part of the process, and they've given everything they can. They've got a little bit more to give. We finish up the conference here and get started in the tournament, but we appreciate everything they've done for the program so far.
We do, and above all, I think it's mostly important. These are 2 fine young men, fine families, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't wish them best of luck in their endeavors as they enter adulthood and go into their post-secondary career. So it's exciting to see what they're going to go on and do in life.
Thank you again for that, Matthew. I do know that Fairland, I heard Coach Camden say they have 4 seniors on their roster. If I can get some names for them, I'm still waiting for their lineup. Once we do that, we'll get both teams' lineups announced. And like I said, we're still waiting on the national anthem. We've got the coaches meeting out there at home plate for the rules meeting. So, like I said, we'll go ahead and get this Fairland lineup figured out, and we'll take another break here, and when we come back, we'll finish up and hopefully be ready to play baseball.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Chris Delaney here with Matt Champlin. Still waiting on the starting lineup for the Fairland Dragons, but they're out. As you can see, everyone is lining up for playing the national anthem. Right now, we do have the lineup for Gallia Academy. The leadoff hitter in left field, number 4, Tyler Young. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 30, Beckett Camden. Pitching and batting third is Logan Drummond. Batting fourth and playing third base is Maddox Delaney. Batting fifth, playing first, is Brady Conley. Batting sixth and playing second base will be Nathan Shockey. Behind the plate, batting seventh, will be Reese Toller. Jackson Myers out in right field will be batting eighth, and Matthew Foster will be playing center field, his usual position, roaming around out there. He'll be batting ninth. So, Matthew, a nice evening this evening here at Gallia Academy to get some baseball in. It's been pretty wet this spring, so hopefully we can play this one at least and see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with spring baseball, you just never know what you're going to get. But we have lost a couple games this year to some rainouts. But fortunately, we've been able to get quite a bit of baseball in this spring. Weather conditions were such last night that pushed last night's game to today. But Fairland was able to make the trip up here. And
Matthew, I'm going to cut you off. They're getting ready to do the national anthem.
and here we go.
All right, go ahead, Matthew. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's fine, Chris. We got a nice evening out here in Centenary at the Bob, and been blowing from west to east. Hopefully it dries this grass out a little bit more than it already is, but it's a great night for some baseball, and probably the most iconic words in sports in the United States. Let's play ball.
Yes, sir. A lovely evening, like you just said, on tap here. A little bit of a breeze. It's probably about 65 degrees. I don't know that you could ask for any better weather to play baseball in, especially with as wet as it's been all spring. So I know the boys are looking forward to it. They've been chomping at the bit to play a Fairland team that comes into the season. Right now they are 5-12 currently overall, and they're 3-4 in the OVC. And Matt, typically Fairland is one of those teams that's usually got a really fundamental, well-coached team, and much like we have been all year, I think maybe mistakes have cost them a game or two here and there.
Yeah, and Chris, we've seen this throughout the years. Just the record alone in and of itself doesn't actually dictate what quality of a team it is. We've seen teams over the years that have struggled mid-season and dropped some games and been able to fight back towards the end of the season and put on an impressive show in tournament time. So I don't think we can judge by the record what Fairland actually is. It'll be interesting to see what their performance out here on the field is, as will it ours. We've had some pretty exciting games here in the last week where we've made some major comebacks and some good strides, cleaning up some fundamentals. So hopefully we've got a really nice matchup out here tonight on the Bob, and it should be an exciting game.
Absolutely. You hear the wind. I don't know if you can hear it in the microphone, but the wind is picking up. There's a little bit of a breeze here, has been blowing. So hopefully it's not too much of a factor in the ball game this evening. But like you touched on, just the little things here and there that we worked on and gotten better throughout the season. In the past couple weeks, Gallia Academy has played a lot better than they have in the first half of the season. And a lot of credit goes to the kids that they're not quitting. They're not giving up on each other. They're fighting every time. They're battling. They're losing the leads and getting leads back and battling. And that's what you really want to see whenever teams are struggling is the fact that they don't want to quit.
Yeah, and like we spoke on earlier, Chris, this is a young ball club here for Gallia Academy, and a lot of these kids have played together before, but a lot of them haven't. So building that chemistry and working through those growing pains over the course of the season, I think, and I hope that we've seen some of those fundamental fixes come in, and we'll see those on display out here tonight.
Thanks for that, Matt. We are now underway here. Still working on a lineup. First pitch coming from Logan Drummond to number 11 for Fairland is a strike. Takes the count to no balls and one strike.
Yeah, Logan, we've talked about before. Logan's a very fundamentally sound kid, high athletic IQ, and does a really good job just about any position in any sport that he plays. So he's one that's fun to watch manage the game, because I think that's the term that I would use most for him. He's a really good game manager in any position and in the sport. So fun to watch off the bump.
Second pitch to Thomas is fouled off. He's down 0-2. Pitch taken just outside. Count goes to 1-2. This is Thomas, number 11. Thomas for Fairland. Ball high. 2-2.
As Logan evens the count 2-2 there to Thomas, Blue Devils are getting set on the infield, and be interesting to see what this at-bat will hold. And now we go to the count being full here on Thomas. Logan's worked himself into an even count here, 3-2. So let's see how this plays out.
Thank you, Coach, for that. You need it.
Ball fouled off. Count stays 3-2 on Thomas.
See, that's what you hate to see if you're Logan Drummond. You get ahead 0-2, and then you throw 3 straight balls to a guy and he fouls off. So you ring the driver's seat, and now you're in a pressure spot where you got to throw a strike. You hate to give a leadoff walk to a guy. So
yeah, that's fact. And we talk about this all the time: pitch management, pitch counts in high school baseball. The last thing you want to do is see a pitcher get into a battle with a batter here when he starts out 2-0 and have to waste a bunch of pitches here right out of the gate on the leadoff batter.
So the 3-2 pitch coming into Thomas. And he fouls that one off behind the plate. So again, like I said, we were ahead 0-2, and now we're just throwing pitches, and these guys haven't played for a few days. So that's another thing is, you got to knock the rust off, and the more pitches you throw, the less effective you might turn out.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. The odds are against you when you're a pitcher at some point in time, and that's a deep hit.
Fly ball to Foster. Seems like he's tracking it down, and he does a really nice over-the-shoulder catch by number 34, Matthew Foster. Really nice play there. Good shot by Thomas into the left center gap, but Foster was on his horse there, made a really nice play, saved Mr. Drummond. So we got one down, and that'll bring up the number 2 hitter. He's a lefty, Ethan Wall.
And I think you were talking a little bit about Mr. Wall earlier as we was watching him warm up on second base. I don't know if their lineup card reflects it, but we believe him to be a senior with veteran status here.
No, it's got him listed at second base. Doesn't have the year on there, but that's okay. He's a good-sized kid, batting from the left-handed side. I do know he pitches. Looks like he takes another ball. Should be 2-0. Got a pretty good velocity with his fastball. We saw him last year. Good fastball, good changeup, good curveball. He's a pretty good athletic kid. You can just see looking at him. That'll be ball 3 low and in.
Puts himself in a little bit of a hole here for Drummond. Hopefully he can battle back out of it like we've talked. Logan's a smart kid. He's very sound, so hopefully he can work back out of this here with the 3-0 pitch.
And he does just that, 3-1. Way to come back. You hate to see him fall down 3-0 like you said, but anytime you can get that fastball across, you'll take it.
Now sometimes these kids just like a little suspense in their life.
3-2.
And we're the exact opposite of the last batter. Logan's decided to
Go ahead and start throwing strikes now. He worked the count 3-0, and now we're full. So 3-2 coming to Wall. And he flies up, and he pops up. Looks like Foster's coasting and positioned underneath. And the Willie Mays Hayes lazy catch out there in center field by 34.
You got this wind working against you in the outfield today, Chris, and you know that was a pretty high fly ball in the center field, and it looked like Matthew might have been flying a kite out there, but he was actually catching a baseball.
Well, that works fine, you know.
Sometimes you got to reel it back.
That's right. That'll bring up number 14. That will be Cornwell, batting from the right side. First pitch, ball on the dirt, ball 1. But yeah, you know, you get out there and you preach. Coach Kim and Coach Harris preach fundamentals to these guys, and sometimes they say, "Nah, Coach, I'm just going to do what I want." And we saw a prime example of it right there. The 0-1 pitch is grounded over to Delaney at third. Fields it clean, throws over, and 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Devils. So pretty good start there for Gallia Academy. No hits on no runs for Fairland, and after half an inning, we are Fairland 0 and Gallia Academy coming up.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up. You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Welcome back here, Gallia Academy. Chris Delaney, Matthew Champlin. Gallia Academy coming up in the bottom of the first inning. They'll have Tyler Young leading off. And currently on the year, he's hitting .296 with an on-base percentage of .452. He's got 17 hits, 10 RBIs, scored 20 runs. And one interesting thing I noticed about him, his quality at-bat percentage is 65, almost 66%. So 2 out of 3 of his at-bats would qualify as a quality at-bat. Matthew, that's a very important stat that people don't really pay attention to.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive statistic. You know, you look at guys in the major leagues and they don't run those type of numbers, and that's the type of guy that you want at the plate when you've got runners on and you need things to happen. You can count on a guy like that to move those runners around, get them to the plate.
Number 24, Luke Brown. First pitch is a little high to Mr. Young, but across the letters and strike one.
So Tyler's had a pretty good year here, his senior year, and we talked about him earlier as he was doing his walk-up.
0-1 is swung on, and we're 0-2.
You know, I think the important thing here for Tyler tonight is to be patient. Tyler's got a lot of power behind his bat. All he's got to do is connect with the ball, and he can make good things happen.
0-2. And that ball is ripped, just like you said. A lot of power behind that swing. One hopper, 2 hop for the first baseman, and Tyler is on first with a leadoff base hit.
And that's exactly what you want to see out of your leadoff hitter. You know, runners on bases score runs, and we've got guys that can put the ball in play. Tyler's got a lot of speed out there as well. You know, so getting that leadoff hit is very important. Now let's see if we can do something.
That'll bring up number 30, Beckett Camden. He's hitting .426 on the year. Brown checks Young. Young's not too far off. First pitch is high, ball 1. Yeah, one of the problems we've had a lot with, Matt, this year is that our guys, we get in situations we can't seem to get guys over. I was checking earlier, we've got a lot of guys left on base, and that's one of the reasons we can't finish games.
Yeah, you've got to have the ability to move your runners around and get them in scoring position. And
there's a hard line drive right at the third baseman, and just like that, the third baseman made a nice play, and Mr. Young was a little far off and couldn't get back in time. So a little twin killing there, line drive to third base, and we got 2 down. That'll bring up number 9, Logan Drummond.
Very unfortunate set of circumstances there, and that's not what you want to see when you get your leadoff runner on. But, hey, you know, those things happen. Again, we talked about some good fundamentals by Fairland, and that was a very well fundamentally played ball by the third baseman.
Yeah, it's just one of those tough ones. First pitch of Drummond is a ball in the dirt. You know, you tell guys, hey, listen, crack of the bat, you want to freeze on a line drive, but you know, when you get that secondary lead and you freeze, you kind of get yourself hung out. So that's a tough ball for just about anybody.
Absolutely. It's hard to judge, and you know, Tyler was kind of hung out there, and the third baseman reacted well, reacted quickly, and obviously the result was a double play.
2-0 to Mr. Drummond.
Got a little sun shining on us now, Chris.
Ball 3, 3-0 to Logan.
Nice to see some good springtime weather with a little bit of breeze, a little bit of sunshine, a really comfortable atmosphere.
Really pretty day here. Sun's shining brightly, really pretty day. The 3-0 from Brown to Drummond is just a little high, but called a strike. 3-1.
You know, back in our younger years, we'd be a little bit worried about this nice weather because it'd make those dandelions pop up, and those kids would be picking those dandelions out in the outfield. But hey, I think at the high school level, we don't have to worry about that too much.
A ball 4 to Drummond. Yeah, the dandelions have been replaced by TikTok and their girlfriends.
That is a fact. Dandelions replaced TikTok, or TikTok replaced dandelions, and their girlfriends have replaced the planes flying over.
Yeah.
Used to see that would capture.
That'll bring number 1, Maddox Delaney, in. He's hitting .304 on the year.
I think there's some synonymousness about that name. I think that's your last name too.
Yeah, as far as I know, that's my kid out there batting. I haven't had any reason to think otherwise.
That will probably depend on how he does it this.
Yeah, well, if he does well, it's my fault, and if he does poorly, it's on his mom. So he's got a 1-ball count to him. Brown set, and Delaney swings through that one. 1-1.
A little bit out in front of that.
Yeah, he was out in front. That's his MO. He loves to be early. For whatever reason, adjusting is not a big priority for these guys, but he's 1-1. Everybody's hit the ball, well, with the exception of Drummond, so we can hit this guy. We just got to adjust a little bit. And there is a pop-up to second base, and that's not what we want out of our number 4 hitter. But we had 1 walk, no hits and no runs for Gallia Academy. And after 1, we are tied at Gallia Academy 0, Fairland 0. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up. You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
And welcome back. Top of the second inning here in Centenary, Ohio with Gallia Academy, Fairland. Promising start to the bottom of the first inning for Gallia Academy, Matthew.
Yeah, it was. It started off really nice with Tyler's leadoff drive into right field, and unfortunately he got doubled up there on that line drive to third base, and things kind of started to fall apart from there. But, you know, the bats were out, and they were active, so let's hope that that can be contagious through the lineup, and they can continue that throughout the evening.
And we have number 24, Luke Brown, stepping into the box, the pitcher for Fairland. Yeah, you touched on it, Matt. We put the ball in play, hit the ball, a couple balls really hard, so that's always a good sign at the top of the first inning.
Yeah, and, you know, from watching this Gallia Academy crew throughout the years.
There's a pop-up into the infield, Beckett coasting under it, and there's one down.
One of the things that we know is that they've struggled to come out hot. So seeing those bats active right away, right out of the gate in the first inning, that's kind of promising.
Yes, sir. And that will bring to the plate number 1, Elias Blankenship. He is the right fielder, number 1, Blankenship. Drummond set, gets his sign. Curveball's in there, strike 1.
Nice pitch from Drummond on the bump, first pitch. And,
It's always nice when you can throw a breaking ball for first pitch strike.
Absolutely is, absolutely. And that kind of gets into the psyche of the batter a little bit.
And the 0-1 is fouled back.
Now Drummond's been ahead of the count with the first batter in the last inning and then struggled and then ran that count full. So now that he's ahead here in the second, let's hope he can make good use of his first 2 pitches.
The 0-2 from Drummond. And Blankenship swings right through it. Nice pitch on the breaking ball. And 2 down. That will bring number 3, the catcher, Josh Gillespie, to the plate. You see this Fairland lineup so far. There's a lot of bigger kids in the lineup.
That is.
It's kind of a lanky kid here, the catcher. For a catcher, usually a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you've got your athletic kids back there, and then we'll see what he's got in the way of a bat.
First pitch of a strike.
Drummond's pitching pretty efficiently tonight. He's throwing some balls, but all in all, he's pitched very efficiently through the first 2 innings.
0-1. He's taken for a strike.
No, it's the headphone. The microphone is.
So again, throwing really well here in the second. Drummond now 0-2 ahead.
Drummond gets a sign from Reese Toller, and here comes the delivery.
I turned it up.
That ball is fouled off behind the Fairland dugout. So we'll do it again. 0-2.
Drummond again receives a sign on the 0-2 pitch and the delivery.
That ball's hit back up the middle.
It's a nice shot up the middle.
As he lost his cleat there, running out of his shoes.
Well, you know, Shoeless Joe Jackson played like that all his career.
Yes, he did.
So there's got to be something to that.
Hopefully he puts it back on and we get out of the inning. That will bring to the plate Number 9, Chase LaPole out. He's playing left field today.
And Chris, I think that's a name that we're familiar with out of Fairland Sports. We know his dad, probably Chris, very well.
Yeah,
Big
Chris.
baseball name.
Chris, good guy. We've coached against him the past few years in the summertime in some tournaments and games here and there. Like I said earlier, they're a well-coached team. He's part of that. So you hear that name, and it's synonymous, as you said, with Fairland and baseball right now. So he
Hey,
comes
you
to
know,
the plate.
Fairland's a team that we've had a lot of fun playing against over the years. We've always focused on fundamentals. Our kids have been fundamentally sound, and so have they, and that's why that makes that an enjoyable matchup anytime you get to play like that.
Drummond, first pitch, ball high, 1-0.
Runner on first getting a good lead. Good secondary there. Yeah.
The 0-1 is in there for a strike, 1-1.
So again, Drummond's been very efficient on the mound here in the second inning. Not sure exactly how many pitches he's thrown. We can reflect back to that here in just a minute. But good game manager.
A foul ball, 1-2. So this is where Drummond wants to pitch smart. He's ahead in the count, 1-2. But with a runner on base, you can't put anything in the dirt that might get by, but you don't want to give him anything too big to hit. So we'll see how he approaches it here. There's a breaking ball. Just a bit high there, looked like just above the letters.
And, you know, that's what we would call a good waste. He's still in control of the game here, and let's hope that Logan can manage his way out of this. Good batter at the plate, some speed on the base pass.
The 2-2 is grounded to the shortstop, Beckett Camden. Makes a play, and just in time. That's probably a really nice play there by Beckett Camden. We'll touch on that when we come back. But after one hit, no runs for Fairland, and we will be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back here at Gallia Academy. Bottom of the second, we'll have Conley, Shockey, and Myers due up for Gallia Academy. Now, Matthew, we touched on a little bit there at the end of the inning. A slow roller is coming towards the in between short and third base, and you kind of saw Delaney come like he wanted to make a play on it, but he backed off and let Beckett come from short and make a play.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if there was any communication there or what, but Beckett did a good job of gobbling that ball up, and Beckett's got enough arm strength that it was nice to see he was able to field that ball. And we talked about it there at break. You know, this grass is thick and lush. We've had a couple of days of some good rain, so the ball is dying quick on a soft hit grounder in the infield.
That will bring Brady Conley will be leading off the second. He's hitting .354 this year with an on-base percentage of .400. He's hitting the ball really well the past couple weeks.
Yeah, and Brady, when he hits the ball, Brady connects hard. He's a hard-hitting kid.
The first pitch is popped up and behind short. Looks like it might be trouble, and it is. It falls in for a base hit there. Looked like we had three guys watching it fly, and I thought someone was going to come make a play on it, but that ball drops in. And, Matt, that's the sort of thing we've been seeing all year for our guys.
Yeah, it has. And, you know, we've got a little bit of a view blockage here, and I look over at the flag, and that flag is whipping around, and it's changing direction. So we had shortstop, second base, and center fielder all pursuing after that. I don't know if the wind was giving them some trouble or what, but obviously it dropped in.
That will bring Nathan Shockey to the plate. First pitch is grounded to short. He bobbles a little bit. And Shockey's going to reach on an error, I think.
So, again, like we talked about earlier, our bats are coming out hot here right in the first part of the game. Now we've got base runners on first and second with no outs, and it'll be nice to see if they can capitalize off of this.
Yeah, that'll bring Reese Toller to the plate. He hasn't had a whole lot of action in the batter's box this year, but this is one of those spots where you trust your guys to come through, and this is a good spot. We got nobody out, first and second. Got something cooking right now.
Yeah, and Reese is historically a kid that we've seen hit the ball hard when he hits the ball. Like you said,
And he pops that one up to third base side. Third baseman moves over and makes a nice play on it.
that was deep, almost against the fence. That third baseman did an excellent job of keeping good concentration there on that ball, tracking that ball all the way into his glove.
Yeah. Nice play there by number 14. That will bring number 22, Jackson Myers, to the plate. He's hitting .304 this year. He got 16 hits. So he's another one of those guys that when he gets hot, he gets streaky, and he'll hit the ball hard all over the place.
Absolutely, and Jackson's one that you like to have on the base paths because he's got a lot of speed under his wheels.
A nice stop there by the catcher. Ball one.
Again, we got runners on first and second with one out now.
I think Fairland may be anticipating the bunt here. Ball two. First baseman's a few feet inside of the first base bag, letting Mr. Shockey get a nice big lead off there. But that's where you got to be careful because they'll throw behind you and pick you off. And that'd be an ugly spot for us. We don't want to see that.
Absolutely. You know, ahead with two runners on and one out, we don't want to waste an out here.
That ball's in the dirt. Again, a nice stop by the catcher, and it's now 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Mr. Myers. A good spot where, you know, I like to say it's auto magic here because we're 3-0, so we're not going to swing here, I wouldn't think, and hopefully we can get a walk. And that ball is across for a strike, taken all the way, like I said, and 3-1.
Still a really good position to be in as a batter. You feel like you're ahead in the count, and you know that the pitcher's got to deliver something to you, so you should be sitting tight and ready to jump on a good pitch.
This is where you hear someone put it on a tee, put it on a tee. Be real picky, and Jackson Myers did. He hit that ball well. That ball's going to get down, and that's going to score Conley. Shockey's rounding second, and now he's headed to third. Coach Cameron, I think, is going to hold Shockey at third. Jackson Myers at second with a really nice double in the gap there. Scored one. Good at bat there by Jackson. Got ahead 3-0. He was patient on 3-1. Got a pitch he liked and hit the ball in the gap. So
yeah, I think he did exactly what you said, Chris. That was a nice pitch right down the middle, and he put that on a tee, and that was a good hard hit ball that carried into that gap and extra base hit, and that's exactly what the Blue Devils needed at that point.
And that will bring Matthew Foster to the plate, hitting .264 this year. He's one of those seniors we talked about. First pitch is low. Again, a nice block there by the catcher. Make a play. You touched on it. He's kind of lanky, but you always put your athletic kids back there behind the plate, and that's why. It saved a run there.
That's exactly right. You know, we've got a little bit of a deep backstop here at Gallia Academy, so that provides a little bit of a challenge for the catchers. They've got to keep that ball.
The 0-1 is taken by Foster. He thought about it, but 2-0. Laid off it. Showed some patience there that he may not have had earlier this year, and that's part of the process we talked about, them getting better the second half of the year.
Yeah, and Foster's been a little bit hot and cold throughout the year, but what we've seen.
And that ball is popped into left field, and left fielder makes a nice play on it. Tagging from home, or from third, will be Shockey, and Myers was off the bag a little too far, so he had to hustle back to second base. But an RBI sac fly there by Matthew Foster, and Gallia Academy takes a 2-0 lead.
And that brings us back to the top of the order with Tyler Young, and we'll remind you that Tyler had a nice shot through the gap between first and second last inning, so it'll be interesting to see if he can repeat that performance with a runner on second and 2 outs.
Another interesting stat that I noticed about Tyler is he's got 22 base on balls this year.
And that tells you that he's very smart at the plate. You know, he knows how to judge the ball and be patient. You know, Tyler's one that you look at and you can tell that he's calm, cool, and relaxed in the box. He's not very excitable, so he knows how to do battle in the batter's box.
The 1-0 pitch is taken just at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Again, Gallia Academy has got 2 runs in so far. We got 2 outs. Jackson Myers, after his leadoff or his run scoring double. He's out there at second base, getting a nice lead off. The 1-1 delivered. Just a bit outside, looks like. A spinner, a curveball. Runs the count to 2-1. 2-1 on Mr. Young.
And a good, again, Young, smart in the box. You can tell he's calm and relaxed. He knows what pitch he wants to hit, as he proved last inning.
And he swings at that one, pops it up. We got the left fielder and the third baseman motoring in to make a play, but the ball was just foul. Mr. Myers was rounding third and headed for home, as Mr. Joe Nuxall, the old left-hander, would have said. But he has to go back, and Mr. Young will have to do it again.
And so we've got twos across the top of the scoreboard, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And 2 in.
And a runner on.
Out on second base. Wow. Play the lottery.
I think we should.
2-2 to Young. He swings, rips another ball past the first baseman. He's going to be on. Myers is rounding third, throws it, comes in from left, and Young will take off and be in at second after the relay throw is not quite made. It was a nice relay throw to the first baseman, but he couldn't quite handle it. Mr. Myers scored, and Tyler Young took advantage of the miscue, and he's standing out on second base with 2 outs.
And again, just like last inning, I think that hit was just about a replay of where he placed the ball last inning.
Almost identical. He ripped that ball.
Yep, that's
what you like to see. That's what we talked about. Your leadoff guys, your senior guys, that's what you want out of them. That'll bring the junior, number 30, Beckett Camden, to the plate.
Beckett's a really consistent hitter. Beckett, again, like we talked earlier with Logan Drummond, Beckett has a high athletic IQ. He's smart in just about everything he does in whatever sport that he does.
First pitch was a ball in the dirt. Counts 1-0. Second pitch comes.
Young breaks for third. And he's going to be in there safe.
Right on call. Mr. Champlin called the steal, and we now have a runner on third base. And Beckett Camden is ahead 2 balls and no strikes here.
Gallia Academy sitting in a pretty good spot with 2 outs. They've got 3 on the board now. This has been a pretty productive inning for them.
So again, 2 balls, no strikes here to Beckett Camden, who hit the ball on the screws, as they say, his last at-bat, but right at the third baseman.
Yeah, and that was a very unfortunate, that was a hard hit ball, but he placed it right in the third baseman's glove. That doubled us up last inning, so it's been nice to see we've been able to recover from that.
Mm-hmm.
Psychologically, they're right in this game and putting some runs on the board.
3 balls, no strikes here to Mr. Camden. Looks like Fairland's got somebody up over in the bullpen there. And that's going to be ball 4. So nice job there. You see a lot of times what happens when the guys start hitting the ball and the teams start getting hot, everybody gets in that batter's box and they just want to swing and start hitting the ball. So good job being patient there by Beckett, taking 4 pitches and drawing a walk.
Got some pretty good speed on the base pass with Beckett Camden over on first and Tyler Young on third base. So Gallia Academy has the need for speed, and they have it here.
That'll bring number 9, Logan Drummond, to the plate. First pitch curveball is taken in there for a strike, and stolen base there by Camden. And you usually see that a lot of first and third situation with 2 outs. They're most likely not going to try and throw you out because you might not get the out at second, and the guy from third will score. So now we're sitting even better with runners on second, third for Logan. He swings on that ball. Those 1-0 was swung short and flips it over to first, and that'll do it. But Gallia Academy scores 3 runs on 3 hits. After 2 innings, we have Fairland 0 and Gallia Academy 3. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello and welcome back here to Gallia Academy. Chris Delaney with first-time full game commentator Matt Champlin. You're doing really well so far.
Well, Chris, I know I'm not Bob Hood.
No, Mr.
But,
Hood, I'm not sure where he's at. I don't know if maybe he didn't make his bond appearance today or what, but he is not in attendance tonight. Hope he's okay. I'm sure everything's fine. But in his stead, I've stepped over to the play-by-play, and I've got you on color commentary. So it's always nice to have the people that you're comfortable with, and you and I have known each other long enough that I think we'll be just fine tonight.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's I can't bring the entertainment value that Bob brings, surely, but hey, I'll fill the void, and you broke me in a little bit there last game.
Yeah, well,
so
Shirley would really appreciate it, though. That'll bring number 99. Who is this? Is this Ballard? Mason Ballard, I believe, if I'm seeing that correctly. Playing first. First pitch from Drummond is fouled off. Mason Ballard.
Ballard's a pretty popular name around the region. I think I've heard that before.
The 0-1 from Drummond. Nice pitch there. Brought the heat a little bit. That's probably the hardest ball he's thrown today for strike two. So, again, he's getting ahead of guys, which you'd like to see. Gives you a lot of opportunity to start mixing up pitches and mixing up speeds, which is one of Mr. Drummond's strong suits here. So the 0-2 just a bit low, just a bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And again, Logan's a good game manager, and it's fun to watch him pitch because you can see his wheels turning inside that head as he's thinking about what his next move is.
And that 1-2 is fouled off to third base.
Fielded cleanly by the Fairland coaching
Coach
staff.
didn't even drop his sunflower seeds.
Yep.
Quite an impressive feat there.
I tell you what, if you keep your sunflower seeds while fielding the ball, most of our kids
Yeah.
struggle to do that sometimes.
1-2 to Ballard. It popped up. Looks like Toller's making a play or attempting to make a play, and he did not. Bobbled it and couldn't quite bring it in. That's a tough play right behind your head like that. He almost tripped over his helmet. And you coach him all the time, just sling it out of the way so that doesn't happen. But, you know, he did not that time. Couldn't quite make the play. Ballard will get another shot.
Good effort by Toller back there, and like you said, Chris, those are hard balls to go after, and that was directly behind him. So not only did he have to flip his helmet off and dodge it, he had to find the ball.
The 1-2 to Ballard is grounded over to third. Delaney fields it clean, throws over to first. Nice play, and we have 1 down.
Again, good game management here so far by the Blue Devils, and in the first inning we had 2 nice fly balls, hard hit fly balls hit by Fairland. Matthew Foster tracked down well on both of them. Our infields look pretty good and clean, pretty much errorless ball playing so far.
And that'll bring number 7, Cyrus Cumming, to the plate, playing left field. First pitch is swung on, hit back up the middle, fielded cleanly by Shockey over to first. Nice dig out of the dirt there by Mr. Conley, and there are 2 down.
We've talked about Gallia Academy all year long, and one of the things that we've struggled with is those fundamental plays. Talked about if they could clean up the small things and do them right, and that's what I'm seeing out here in front of me today is they're doing the small things right. They're hitting the ball well, smart base running, and that's equating to a successful outcome so far here in the game.
That'll bring us to the top of the lineup to Wyatt Thomas. Takes the ball inside. Yeah, one of the more frustrating things we see a lot of the time and earlier the first half of the year is when the team doesn't perform as well as it should. And the ball 2 is a ball in the dirt, gets by, and I think it's 2-0. Scoreboard tells us it's 3-0, but I'm pretty sure it's 2-0.
Yeah, I don't think they reset that after the last at-bat.
So the 2-0 to Thomas. The shortstop, I believe. It's taken low, 3-0.
Drummond's dug himself a little bit of a hole here on this one, and he's been in this position a couple of times. Now he's got to work back out of it here.
Ball is taken in for a strike. A little tight, I thought, but we'll take it. Runs the count to 3-1. And he's going to be thinking the same thing that Jackson Meyer was. Get something you like really well and hit a hard here. The 3-1 coming from Drummond. That's grounded to third. Delaney bobbles it and can't come up with it, so that's going to be an error on the third baseman. Must have picked that up from his mother. I would never accept that, but nah, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know, Chris, I probably jinxed him there just a little bit.
Well,
we talked about how they were playing clean out here
right.
tonight.
Well, we talked about it too. The grass is really thick,
yeah,
and that was kind of a slow roller, so probably just couldn't quite get down in the grass thick enough to pick it out. So
yeah, I don't know who his mom is, but I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate the correlation there. But hey, that's okay. We're moving on with the game.
That'll bring Wall to the plate with 2 outs. Drummond throws over to first, not in time. Conley over there trying the hidden ball trick, maybe to no avail.
I've seen that capitalize on a couple times in the majors and the high school or the college levels, and I don't know that we're trying to execute it, but hey.
Big lead over there by Thomas. Ball taken by Wall.
You talked about that. That was an exceptionally big secondary lead over there. You know, we anticipate when we see that runner's probably a good runner, probably looking to get a good jump on the ball.
Good size lead over there, inching a little bit more, and he takes off. Strike taken there by Wall. The throw was in time, but it was a one hopper, and it got past Camden and skipped out into center field, but Foster came in, not enough of a skip to get the runner from second to third.
So now with 2 down here in the third, Fairland has a runner on second base in scoring position with what I believe to be probably one of their most powerful hitters at the plate.
Yeah, this is a spot in the lineup. It's 2, 3, 4. I think Wall's the second guy, so you want to limit the damage here, get this guy and not let things get out of control on us. One of the worst things we do is you score 3 runs and then give them right back, which you hate to see, but also you got to pitch smart here. You can't just throw it right down the middle because they'll start hitting the ball all over the place.
Absolutely, and this is where Gallia Academy just needs to tighten things up a little bit, not let the little bit of a baffle that they've had here so far in the inning impact their play. You know, we always tell them, hey, we got 2 outs here. Let's focus on the batter. Let's work on this guy and let's get him out.
That'll run the count to 3-1 to Wall. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 strike with 2 outs. Runner on second base. Drummond delivers. Strike is taken by Wall. Runs a count full. We're 3-2. 2 outs. Again, 3-0 here in the top of the third inning. Fairland threatening with Thomas on second and Wall at the plate. The 3-2 is swung on and missed by Wall, and that'll finish it.
So Gallia Academy did not suffer a big defeat here in this inning. They had 1 error, let 1 runner get on base, but again, they were able to pull things back together very successfully. Logan Drummond did a good job. Even though we had a stolen base off of that error, did not affect us, and Gallia Academy still up 3-0.
Yep. So we will be right back with the bottom of the third inning coming after this.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gallia Academy High School. Chris Delaney here with Matt Champlin doing the color. We are currently in the bottom of the third inning with Gallia Academy leading Fairland 3-0. We got a pitching change out there, Matthew. Let me check the rooster here and see what we're looking at. Looks like number 19, Nolan Fleming, the lefty, coming in. Don't know much about him. We're just learning as we go, just like you guys are listening, watching. We appreciate it. Comment, like, share, let everybody know that you're watching. If you're a Fairland person, share it. Let everybody know, hey, listen, you can watch the guys play. We also want to mention that we're sponsored here today by Braden Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, one of our main sponsors. Really appreciate them. Thank you, Matt Champlin, for the nod to remember that.
Yeah, it's really nice, Chris. You know, we're a little bit long in the tooth, as they would say now. And back in our day, we didn't have all the benefits that our friends and family could watch these games remotely if they were out of town or from out of town. So it's nice to offer this service. It's great that Braden does this for us.
Yep. Leading off for Gallia Academy, number 1, Maddox Delaney. He popped up to the first baseman or second baseman on a weak pop-up in the first inning. So hopefully he can adjust here. We've got a new arm on the hill, lefty, so here we go. We'll see how he does. Fleming deals. Ball's taken low. Ball 1.
Maddox is, like you said earlier, he's got a .304 batting average this year. Hitting in the number 4 hole, we've seen some great things out of Maddox this year, so let's see how he can do here.
And then second pitch is flied into center field, and the center fielder coasts under it and makes a play. 1 down.
Maddox has had a good year at the plate. You know, we reminisce back to the Warren game at Warren where he went yard over their tall wall up there. So he has the power. That was a well-hit ball. Unfortunately, flied out to center field, and now we have Brady Conley.
Yeah, that's
stepping
one of
up
those
to the
things. Matthew, you talked about how young this team. Maddox is only a sophomore. The majority of these kids are sophomores. That'll bring number 12, Brady Conley. He's a junior. The everyday first baseman hits the ball up to second base, fielded cleanly by Wall and over to first, and there are 2 down.
Not the way we want to see, or not the way Gallia Academy wants to see a start to the inning after they had a electrifying, fun inning last inning. But, you know, you can't have 3 running innings every game.
No, but the point is that we're still out here swinging, we're still out here hitting, and we've always told them, and Coach Harris and Coach Cannon have told them, hey, hit it and make him get you out.
That's right.
Make him get you out.
Can't score runs if you don't put the ball in play. That's fact.
And bring Shockey to the plate. Nice, big, healthy cut for his first pitch. Swung through it, though. Count goes to 0-1. So Fleming, pretty good job so far. He's only faced a couple of guys, but got a fly ball and a ground ball, so that's what you want out of your reliever. Second pitch is blocked. Nice play there by the catcher.
Yeah, a little bit of adjustment needed here on the Gallia Academy front. You know, anytime you see a different arm, you got to give a look, get the timing down, and make those adjustments, whether that's up or back in the box, and adjust the pitcher.
1-1 to Shockey. Ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And another thing that we've talked about is discipline at the plate. You know, we can't come out here and jump off on the first pitch that he throws, and you got to be disciplined, pick your pitch, and make the best out of it.
That ball is dribbled back to behind the mound to short, fielded cleanly, and thrown over to first, and that'll do it for Gallia Academy. So no runs on no hits, nobody left on. After 3, Fairland 0, Gallia Academy 3, and we will be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Welcome back, guys. Gallia Academy, Fairland, playing at Gallia Academy High School. Top of the fourth inning. Logan Drummond's still on the mound for Gallia Academy. He's throwing really well. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, Logan's having a great night. You know, we've watched him manage the game really well from the bump, and that's what you expect out of your pitcher. Get out there, throw strikes, control your pitches, let your defense work behind you, and Logan does just that. You know, he's unfazed by just about anything that happens in the game. Logan never really loses his composure. You can see it on his face.
Yeah, he's thrown 3 innings so far, 3 complete. He's thrown 47 pitches, and 31 of them are strikes. He's only given up 1 hit, and he struck out 2. So he's pretty efficient so far. He's throwing a lot more strikes than he has balls, is what you want. He's gotten ahead of a lot of guys, and like you've touched on a couple times, when they do put it in play, we're making plays and getting guys out.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And as a pitcher, you know, that's what your expectation is of your defense. You know they're going to hit the ball. You want them to hit the ball. That's the whole premise behind pitching is hit the ball, put it in play, let your defense work for you.
So Fairland's going to have 3-4-5 coming up. Number 14, the third baseman, Cornwell, stepping into the box. First pitch is in the dirt, ball 1.
A little bit of a waste there by Logan Drummond on his first pitch, and we've watched him a couple times throughout the last couple innings go three balls and no strikes and then work back out of it, but we don't want to see him waste those pitches like that.
1-0 is grounded back up the middle. Beckett Camden ranges to his glove side, can't quite make the play. And Fairland's going to have a leadoff guy on. Kind of a tough play there, Matt.
That was a tough play, and, you know, we talked about Beckett earlier while he was on the base path. You know, Beckett's got a lot of speed, covers a lot of ground really quickly and efficiently, and that's exactly what he did there. You know, a lot of times that would have been through. At least Beckett was able to chase it down, knock it down. Unfortunately, it popped out of his glove. He wasn't able to make the play on it, but still a good play.
Now we'll bring Luke Brown to the plate, number 24. Takes first pitch strike. He was the pitcher. He was the starting pitcher. I'm not sure. I didn't get whether or not he stayed in the game or moved to a different position or came out of the game after they made the change and went with Fleming. So
yeah,
I
I
didn't check on that.
Didn't catch that. We'll catch that next time they're on the field. But nevertheless, Brown in the batter's box here.
The 0-1 by Drummond, set. Ground ball back to Drummond. He bobbles it a little bit and makes the play anyway and gets Brown out at first base. I think he looked to maybe try and get the double play, but a lot of speed over there. Couldn't quite make the play, made the smart play there, and just made sure he got an out.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, to get that out no matter where it's at. And that was a pretty good shot. Popped out of Drummond's glove there pretty quick. And, again, I think Logan was pre-programmed. He wanted to go to second base. But the most important thing is to get out of that play with an out.
And to bring up Blankenship, number 1. First pitch taken outside.
So Fairland now with 1 out, runner on second base.
The 0-1 is dribbled to Delaney, who fields it clean, makes the play, and there are now 2 outs. And Cornwell advances to third base on the slow roller there. Nice play by Delaney. That was the kind of ball that we saw last inning or a couple innings ago, Matt, that it was kind of an in-betweener, and he let Beckett Camden come and get it. But that time he went ahead and cut it off and made a nice play.
Yeah, he did exactly what we expect out of him, Chris. You know, we always say go where the ball takes you, and that's exactly what Delaney did there. Fielded that ball well, fielded it clean, made a good throw to first base, and obviously the runner advanced is what you'd expect.
And Gillespie takes the ball 1 high.
But we've got the second out of the inning with the runner on third, so Gallia Academy, again, playing some pretty efficient fielding and defensive.
So 2 outs with runner on third for Fairland. Drummond going from the windup here, so Cornwell's getting a pretty good lead. And a little cat and mouse going here between Cornwell and Drummond. Drummond stays in the windup. That ball's popped up behind the Fairland dugout.
Out of play.
Runs a count, I believe. It's a 0-2.
And again, you noted that Drummond is going from the windup here, not something you would ordinarily see, but obviously he feels comfortable in that position.
The ball is popped up behind home plate. Toller making the play, moves over, and can't make the play. So that's another one of those tough balls. It's kind of right there in no man's land where, you got the third baseman Delaney, the pitcher Drummond, and the catcher Reese Toller coming in to try and make a play. And if that wind blowing, that's just a tough ball for anybody. Unfortunately, Toller couldn't make the play, and that'll put Gillespie back in the box with a 1-2 count, and hopefully he doesn't take that second chance and make a run out of it.
Yeah, let's hope not. That ball is whipping around there in the wind, and obviously gave Toller a little bit of fits there.
Ball too high. Runs the count 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on third. Top of the 4th inning here. Gallia Academy. That ball is lifted to left field. Young coasting and makes the play. So we avoided disaster there. Had a runner on third, but Mr. Drummond gets a fly ball for 3 outs to end the inning. So after 3.5 innings here, Fairland 0 and Gallia Academy 3.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and now Pure Rock 98.7 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and Porter's Place featuring me, Porterhouse, comedian Jay Stein, the funny guy, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and Pure Rock 98.7. Turn it up.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gallia Academy High School. Chris Delaney and Matthew Champlin on the call. Bottom of the 4th inning right now. Gallia Academy leading 3-0.
Again, we mentioned earlier, Chris, pretty nice evening. We've got some cloud cover and a little bit of wind here, but a decent night for some high school baseball.
Yeah, Coach Camden's got to be happy with what he's seeing so far out of us, out of our kids. We're hitting the ball, putting the ball in play, making a lot of plays. When we need them, we touched on that. We do have one error, but it didn't hurt us. So this is, like you said, this is that zone where you want to be. You just want to stay right here in this area. You're playing good defense. You're hitting the ball. You're getting ahead. So hopefully we keep this going.
Yeah, we talk a lot about mentality in these games, Chris, and our guys look fairly locked in tonight, which results in a smile on the coach's face, which is what you always want to see. And it's good to see them put a good game together, a good performance together, especially defensively. They're playing some clean, fundamental baseball. Bats are working really nice tonight. Obviously we've flown out a few times, but everybody's making contact from top to bottom in the order, and that's something that we've struggled with, having intermittent hitters throughout the lineup. And tonight it's not been the case. Everybody's been putting the bat on the ball.
Mm-hmm. So that'll bring, we've got the Gallia Academy Blue Devils have Reese Toller, Jackson Myers, and Matthew Foster this inning. Number 40, Reese Toller, doing the catching today. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Again, we're presented to you by Braden, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. That's a lot to say there. We appreciate everything they're doing for us. Ball 2 taken by Toller.
We appreciate them for their sponsorship and for the tongue twisters that they provide you.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow it. We can't all be perfect, or then we'd be Bob Hood, wouldn't we?
That's exactly fact, Chris. But,
The 2-0 is ripped by Toller into the gap, played by the shortstop, makes a nice throw, and gets him by a step. Really nice play deep in the hole there by number 11 for Fairland.
Yeah, that was an excellent play by number 11, like you said.
Thomas. Nice play by the shortstop.
Deep into the hole, and that made for a long throw across the diamond.
Deep in the hole, buried that foot, made the backhand, and a really nice throw. Really nice play.
Again,
unfortunately.
Again, back to what you said earlier, this Fairland group is a well-coached team. That's something that you can obviously tell that they've worked on. Number 11 there, Thomas, I think you said it was, had a lot of confidence in his abilities and made the play.
That'll bring Jackson Myers, number 22, to the plate. First pitch swinging, and nobody's going to get to that one. That one falls in between third base and left field. So a one-out base hit there by Jackson Myers, who's now 2 for 2 with a base hit and a double. So he's swinging the bat well, and that'll bring number 34, Matthew Foster, to the plate. Coach, you really like when guys are sitting on the ball and just swinging on that first pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's yeah, you want to see them make contact. You want to see them be disciplined in there. But if they see something they like, you also want to see them take it and make something productive out of it, which is what they've done here so far.
Yeah, one of the old adages is pitchers, when you think about hitting, pitchers always want to get ahead. They always want to throw that first pitch strike. And a lot of times the first pitch you see is going to be that first pitch strike right down the middle. And Myers was sitting on that one and hit a nice hard line drive into left field. There's a throwback by the catcher. Was it up? Was it? Well, maybe he was just sitting fastball. I thought I saw the strike, but hey, Bo, there's Bodie Cooper Delaney standing by. He's the mascot.
Bo is an effective mascot. Educates me a lot.
The 1-1 taken by Foster.
Coach
The 1-0 taken by Foster. Does the count even? 1-1.
Coach Camden gets tired. We might just sub Bo in there coach some third base tonight.
Oh, a little bit low. I think pulled the trigger a little prematurely there. That's tough. That's tough, Matt, when you see that ball just kind of puttering in there. You just want to tee off on it.
It is, and, you know, we talked about the mentality, and you know, you see everybody else around, you start getting aggressive in that box, so we just got to stay disciplined.
And that ball is trouble. I think that's going to get down.
Yes, it is.
A little dribbler, a little blooper there in behind shortstop. So Foster reaches with a base hit. Now Gallia Academy again cooking. Jackson Myers with his base hit on second base, and Mr. Foster with a base hit. Runners on first and second. Now we're back at the top of the lineup with Tyler Young, who, Matt, he's hit 2 balls really hard today.
He has hit 2 fantastic hits today, and both of them were mirror images of each other right through through the gap between first and second. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can repeat that a third time.
First pitch is taken at the knees, strike 1.
Again, we talked about earlier, Tyler's very disciplined in the box. You can tell it. You can look. You can see his confidence on his face. He knows what he wants to hit, waits for that pitch before he takes his chance.
Ball up just above the letters, I think, and Tyler liked what he saw, took a rip at it. Unfortunately, came up whiffing there. Count runs 1-1. I'll tell you, if this is a spot, if he hits the ball in the gap, we're going to score 2 runs because we've got a lot of speed on the bases right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And,
the 0-2 is taken in there for strike 3.
We've talked about this often throughout the season. We've got a lot of very athletic kids on this roster, and we're for no lack of speed. So if we can put people on base and put the ball in play, we shouldn't have any trouble scoring.
That'll bring number 30, Beckett Camden, the junior, shortstop, to the plate with 2 outs. Ball in the dirt, nice block. Catcher blocked it. Myers takes off to third. The ball beat him, but the third baseman, fortunately, was not able to hold the ball, so Myers is safe. The ball blocked by the catcher, and it dropped right down in front of him. So really nice play there by him, but he was not quite able to make a great throw. So Jackson Myers over to third base and Foster over to second. So Beckett Camden with a 1-0 count with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that ball just a little bit low and in the dirt in front of the third baseman. Did a really good job of handling it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to complete the catch and tag.
The 1-0 swung on by Camden, fouled off, 1-1. Myers on third, Foster off second. Camden with a dribbler back to the pitcher's mound. Pitcher can't field it clean. Throws over. Beckett Camden beats that one out, motoring down the line. That's going to bring a run in. Jackson Myers scores on the play. Foster over to third and Beckett to first base. Like you just touched on, those guys can fly, and there's not many that can run a lot faster than that kid over there that just beat that one out.
Yeah, we've watched him through soccer and baseball both, and he is very graceful and very magical when he runs. So, you know, most kids would have still got thrown out there, but Beckett Camden closed the gap and got safe.
Bring Drummond to the plate. And then you're not going to take a shot there. You'll save your arm on that play for the catcher. So now runners on second and third with Drummond at the plate with a 1-0 count. So this is another spot where a base hit can score 2 and give them a lot of breathing room. This is a big at-bat. 1-0 is drilled by by Drummond through, and Foster scores. Bobbled by the left fielder, and Camden scores. So right on cue, a 2-out base hit there. Probably would have scored 2, even if the left fielder does field that clean. That's a tough play for him to make with Beckett Camden motoring around third base with 2 outs.
Yeah, Beckett had a good jump off of second base on the crack of that bat, and like we talked about, Beckett's got a lot of wheels, but that little bit of bobble gave us a good advantage there.
So that'll bring Delaney to the plate. He's 0 for 2. And right on cue, he pops up into the infield. So play made by the first baseman, but damage done by Gallia Academy. There, 3 runs on 3 hits, I believe, with 1 left on base. So after 4, Gallia Academy 6, Fairland 0. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Oh, hi, everyone. Welcome back to Gallia Academy. Chris Delaney with Matt Champlin here. After 4 innings, Gallia Academy leading Fairland 6-0. Coach, Matt, we've talked quite a bit here. I keep calling you Coach. Just a backstory. Matt and I have been coaching these guys that are now juniors and sophomores and freshmen for the better part of 10 years, I think.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we started out with a large group of these kids in T-ball. I can remember that first day you were standing down on the left field line, and I went down and struck up a conversation and coaxed you into coaching, and we've kind of been stuck together ever since.
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of fun. But so, like I said, if I call him Coach, I don't want you to get confused. This is Matthew. This is not Coach Camden or Coach Harris. It's Matt Champlin here with us. But we've been calling these kids for quite a while, and it's always fun. You know, it's bittersweet whenever you get to see them. You know, we've touched on it. Your daughter, Gabby's a senior this year. She's getting ready to graduate, and you know, when they're youngsters, you say you can't wait to watch them grow up. And here now they are. They're sophomores in high school and seniors in high school, and they're getting finished up. It makes things hard on us, doesn't it?
Time sure flies. You know, years ago when I was young, people told me your kids will grow up in the blink of an eye, and that is a factual statement.
So the top of the 5th will bring number 9, the pole, to the plate for Fairland. You know, takes the ball inside, 1-0. Swings at the second pitch, and it's a soft liner fielded cleanly by Camden, and there's 1 down. You know, I read, Matthew, one time, I think we've touched on the kids growing up, and I think we've spoken about it before, but I read a quote online, and it said that when it comes to raising a family and children, it says the days will drag on, but the years will fly by.
And that's an accurate statement. You mentioned my daughter's graduating this year, and I can remember walking her into kindergarten yesterday.
First pitch swung in there and by Fleming, the pitcher, swung on a missed with 0 balls and 1 strike.
Now, Chris, you've mistakenly called me coach a couple of times, but I understand that you're
Fleming pops up over to third base. Delaney calls it. He slips, and somehow he still makes the play. So nice job. Way to make it exciting for everyone here, Maddox. Nice play, nice play. We got 2 down. I think you just put a little flavor on that just to make it fancy, Matt.
Well, you know, he could have used some chocolate syrup on top of that ice cream cone that he just pulled off the field there, but we'll take it plain today.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris, I understood, you've called me coach a couple times, but I understand your pen name to be the Talent.
The Talent, yeah. Oh, that first pitch by Ballard is hit right at Tyler Young for the third out. And we'll hold you right there. 3 up, 3 down for Fairland in the top of the 5th. And then after 4.5, Fairland 0 and Gallia Academy 6. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Welcome back here to the Robert H. Bob Eastman Ball Field here in Centenary as Gallia Academy Blue Devils take on the Fairland Dragons in varsity baseball action. This is Matt Champlin here with Chris, the Talent, Delaney, and we started down that path just before we walked away to commercial break. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself there, Chris? How'd you earn that name, or is that a self-given name?
That is a self-acquired nickname. I was telling my wife, Ashley, she said, well, what do you have to do? What do you do? Yeah, what do you do this, do that? After the first time I came and did one of these games, and I told her, I said, no, I'm just a talent. I just get on there and blow a hair. So, of course, she decides to go ahead and put that on Facebook, which is fine with me. I don't have a Facebook account anymore, so I don't have to catch any grief that I'm sure would be flying right my way if I were still on there.
Well, I would have to agree a little bit with your talent there. One of the things you were known for is keeping things light and entertaining for our kids with your dad jokes throughout the years. So you are pretty talented in that aspect.
The leadoff batter, Brady Conley, fouls off behind first base, takes the count to 0-1. Well, thank you, Matt. That's very kind of you. I never considered myself an actually talented person, but in that situation, I always thought the 0-1 is grounded to short by Conley and is through the wickets, as they say. And Conley's going to be aboard with a 1-out. Reached on an error. So that'll bring Shockey to the plate.
We'll correct you there just real quick. There's no outs, Chris.
No
Conley was our lead off.
Okay.
And so we got a clean slate on the scoreboard out there, 1 on, with Shockey at the plate.
And Shockey hits a dribbler. And that's one of those things where you're seeing today, we touched on it. Of course, I give him a hard time because he's my kid, but, our cleanup hitter, Maddox Delaney, is 0 for 3 with two weak pop-ups and a fly ball. But thankfully, other guys in the lineup are hitting the ball and getting the job done, and that's what you like to see out of your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody needs to eat a little piece of the pie, and everybody is, we've talked about this often. Baseball's a hard game. You got a 3-inch round bat and trying to hit that little 3-ounce round ball, so it's a tough sport. And you need some balance and versatility throughout your lineup, so everybody needs to pitch in.
1-1 to Shockey. That ball is drilled the other way, and it's going to get down. Conley is rounding second, heading for third, and Shockey is on his way to second base. Nice rip there by Mr. Shockey. So we're going to have runners on second and third with nobody out. And just a really nice piece of hitting there by Shockey. He's continuing to hit the ball really well. It's really impressive the way the past couple weeks, actually ever since we played Rock Hill, and he had a walk-off double against Rock Hill. And ever since then, he's just been really dialed in.
Yeah, and historically, Shockey's been really good in the batter's box. Shockey's a good pitcher. He's a good sound player all the way around. Pretty high athletic IQ, just like we've talked about. We've got several of those kids on our roster. But he's calm and patient in the box. Only had 4 strikeouts so far on the year, and that's a pretty epic number in the high school sports
when
world.
You're swinging, and the thing with Shockey, he struggled really, really hard last year as a sophomore. Struggled to hit the ball, and he even had some struggles this year. But just the way he's coming on so far, and like I said, he's only struck out 4 times. And we have a substitution. My bad. Looks like Logan Kinney stepping into the box, and he'll be batting for Reese Toller, I would imagine. So Reese Toller's day's probably done. And I think I heard before the game, that ball's low and it'll go 1-1 to Kenny. I think I heard Logan before the game say he's going to come in and catch when Tyler Young comes in to throw.
Yeah, and early on in the season.
And Brady Conley is motoring and stealing home plate on the pass ball. So nice play, the heads-up play there by Brady, who's not the most fleet of foot, but had enough awareness. Saw that ball in the dirt and saw it kick out of the dirt and into the grass and was motoring in.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to say there, Chris, before that pass ball, Logan's been somebody that's been pretty consistent at the plate through the year. He's got 8 hits on the year, 4 RBIs, and in a big moment like this where you've got runners in scoring position, he's usually somebody that you can count on putting the ball in play and scoring some runs.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, too. He doesn't get a whole lot of at-bats. He and Reese trade time, and so it's hard for him. That ball, a strike is taken. I think the count will go to 2-2. He and Reese share at-bats and share playing time, so it's really hard just to come in like this, just come in cold off the bench and try and get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
That ball is hit, and it looks like it's going to be fielded by the right fielder, and he throws home, and it's not going to be in time. And Shockey's going to score, and there we go. Just like that, like we said, coming off the bench cold, and we get a fly ball to right field, sacrifice fly RBI for Logan Kinney. It's a nice job. Gallia Academy tacks on another one, and that'll make it 8-0. That'll bring Jackson Myers to the plate.
Jackson's been pretty exciting to watch. He's 2 for 2 on the night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Put the ball in play, a single and a double.
And swings through that one, 0-1. Again, Gallia Academy playing really well tonight, Coach.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good sound, fundamental baseball. Hitting the ball, putting the ball in play, letting their runners score runs off those hits, even that sacrifice there.
And good morning, good afternoon, and good night there for Jackson Myers. Pitcher said, hey, listen, I'm done, but that's only the first out, buddy. You got to get 2 more. So Fleming was ready to be done. Good for him, though. You got to get 2 down. I'm sorry. That fly out by Kenny was the first one, so 2 downs now. And that'll bring up Matthew Foster to the plate.
A little bit of confidence and ambition there in Fleming. I think he had things played out in his head, and he was getting ready to walk off. But, hey, he's pitching pretty well so far here.
Yeah, not bad. Giving up a few hits, but unfortunately for him, Gallia Academy's been able to take advantage of those, which is something that for the first, like we touched on, the part of the year was something we couldn't do. Foster swings heavy through that one.
And Gallia Academy's put up a really nice performance here on both sides of the ball tonight, and that's something that we've lacked throughout the year. Even when we have hit the ball, we've made errors and allowed teams to capitalize. So tonight it's been a very refreshing performance to see that they've cleaned up both sides of the ball and been able to do it defensively and also put the ball in play and score runs.
Foster unable to make contact there, and that's going to do it for Gallia Academy. But I believe we had 2 runs on 2 hits there. So 2 runs, 2 hits. Anybody left on there? We didn't leave anybody on base.
I don't think so, no.
So nice job there by Gallia Academy, and that'll run the score after 5 innings. Gallia Academy 8 and Fairland 0. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and now Pure Rock 98.7 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and Porter's Place featuring me, Porterhouse, comedian Jay Stein, the funny guy, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and Pure Rock 98.7. Turn it up.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
All right, welcome back to the Robert H. Bob Eastman baseball field here at Centenary, Ohio, Gallia Academy, hosting the Fairland Dragons. We've got a couple of changes to report for you around the diamond here. Substitution in right field. It looks like Luke Sisson came in for Jackson Myers in right field, and inserting behind the plate is Logan Kenny, who we watched bat last inning. Is taking the reps behind the dish now, replacing Reese Toller. So here we go in the top of the sixth. Gallia Academy up 8-0, and the sun is shining and the wind's still blowing, but it's a beautiful night for some high school baseball.
Yeah, it really is, Coach. We're working into the sixth inning. Logan Drummond's still throwing. He's only given up one hit, just pitching really well. You can't ask for anything better to start off the week.
No, absolutely not. Coach Camden's got to be very happy with his ball club's performance out here so far. You know, we've had a rough run of it this season, but this would kind of bolster you and bring you back up a little bit if you were the coach watching your squad's performance tonight.
So we got Thomas leading off, the leadoff hitter, number 11, playing short. First pitch swinging and takes the second pitch in the dirt for a ball, so 1-1. Thomas had that nice play back deep in the hole we talked about earlier.
Yeah, very athletic kid. You know, you don't go in the hole and make that deep play and come out throwing.
Third pitch is flown to Foster, deepest part of the ballpark, and he steps in the mud pit there and makes the play. So nice job, Foster. One down.
A little bit of a swampy atmosphere out here in our outfield. You know, we've had a lot of rain over the last week, and conditions last night pushed this game to tonight. So our outfielders are dealing more with more than just the wind out there. They're also dealing with some footing conditions, but managing it very well.
Going to bring Wall to the plate, the second baseman, number 15. First pitch taken outside, ball one.
I believe we've got some new fans coming in on the right field wall. Looks like there's a little bit of cattle moving in on us, wanting to take in some baseball.
I'm not sure that one, but that was ball two. The 2-0 from Drummond. Popped up. Looks like Delaney might be able to make a play. Camden calls him off and makes a play. So that's why you communicate. Nice job there. Delaney called it initially, but Camden called him off. Said, "Hey, listen, I got the better angle, and I don't want you to make a mistake. So I'm going to take the ball from you."
And you know, Chris, that's something that we've talked about throughout the year is seeing this team come together as far as their chemistry and their communication, and that's something else that we've watched play out tonight. You know, they've had some good on-field communication. The chemistry is obviously flowing out here with this ball club. So,
first pitch by Cornwell hit the shot to Camden at short, and pulls Brady Conley off the bag, but he's able to hold on to it and tag the runner out. So 3 up, 3 down. Good inning there from Mr. Drummond, and after 5.5, no runs, no hits, nobody left on. Fairland 0 and Gallia Academy 8. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello and welcome back to Gallia Academy at the Robert H. Bob Eastman Ball Field here at Gallia Academy High School. Bottom of the 6th inning right now. Gallia Academy leading Fairland 8-0. 8 zilch.
Chris, we talk about the Robert H. Bob Eastman ball field a lot, and there's a lot of history behind that, and I'm sure you know that history. Mr. Eastman is somebody in the Eastman family that I'm very fond of throughout my childhood, but the Eastman family has historically...
Ball taken in there by Young.
Eastman family has historically been a big supporter of athletics here at Gallia Academy. Their children...
The one is grounded to wall, who throws over, and Young almost beat it out, but makes the play.
But again, the Eastman family have always been very big supporters of Gallia Academy athletics, which is why this field bears the name, and we're playing at the Bob Eastman Field at the Eastman Athletic Complex. And Bob was a big Cincinnati Reds fan, which I am not. But I can remember being down in his trophy room in his basement when I worked for him over the summers, and
First pitch to Camden, taken low for a ball.
Bob had a trophy room that would make you cry when you saw his memorabilia and stuff like that. So very thankful for the Eastman family and other families alike.
Ground ball is pulled foul. We're also very grateful for Braden Automotive, our main sponsor. Also, all of our other sponsors. We've got Ohio Valley Bank and HT Marketing and a list of others. I don't have the list in front of me, but we appreciate everything you do and make it possible for us to bring you Gallia Academy baseball. As the 1-1 pitch is fouled up behind home plate by Camden. You know, this is something they've talked about doing. They're trying to expand and have the Gallia Academy Sports Network, which would be really awesome. Right now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Wyatt, but they're going to stream football, baseball, and basketball games, but they're trying to stream others. The 1-2 is hit by Camden, pounded in the ground to short. Shortstop makes a nice clean play. Camden almost beats that one out, but not quite, so 2 down.
Yeah, and again, you know, I've got family that lives away from the area, and they like to tune in and watch the kids' athletics. So it's really nice to have these features in our community.
Oh, it's wonderful. And you know, and it's not just about whether or not they live close or live far away. A lot of people can't get out. They don't like to come out in the weather. Or, you know, if they're working and they can't watch it, it's always on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. So the the first pitch is fouled off by Drummond. It makes the count 0-1. But it's just a great thing to have, and like you touched on earlier, we didn't have that. When we were growing up, and even just a few years ago, if you weren't at the game, you had to hope somebody saw it so that you could tell them about it. But now with the internet and streaming capabilities, you can go and it'll be on here forever if you're going to go back and watch it. So
yeah, Chris, you know,
that ball is flied in behind first base, and that's going to drop in for a hit.
I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but we didn't have the internet when I was a kid growing up playing sports. And when we did get it, you had to listen to that tone for about 5 minutes before
the dial-up tone. Yes, sir.
So, technology has evolved a lot in youth sports and to a pretty big benefit most of the time.
Looks like we've got a substitution here. Looks like Logan Drummond with the base hit, and it's going to bring up Jack Allison to the plate. Looks like he's going to hit for Delaney. So Delaney's day may be done. He may re-enter defensively, but I could see Allison moving in and playing somewhere.
Jack Allison's another one. If he can get himself on the base path here, he's very lethal. Got a lot of speed, and we've known that for years and watched him be very successful in the base running department.
So Fleming set, checks the runner, deals. Allison takes the ball at the knees. Strike one. Yeah, this is another one of those sophomores like we've touched on. There's just a ton of young talent on this team, and that's kind of a double-edged sword because you got all this talent, but you only got 9 spots.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good thing is the future of Gallia Academy baseball is very, very. How do I want to say it here?
Bright.
Fruitful.
There we go.
I'll
bright.
use fruitful.
That's fine. I like that one too. Allison swung through the second pitch. He's down 0-2. Fleming deals. Allison fouls it off. Way to hang in there.
And we think we lost you there for just a few minutes after we talked about how great technology is, but we think we're back now.
1-2 to Allison is ripped to second base, and second base fields it clean. But I think, looked to me like Jack may beat that one out, but maybe the umpire had dinner plans. Ordered a pizza from LaRobi's maybe. He needs to pick it up in just a little bit. So he called him out, unfortunately. But, hey, that's the way it goes.
It's one of those bang-bang plays.
One hit, no runs, and one left on for Gallia Academy. After 6, Gallia Academy 8, and Fairland. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
And we're back here at Gallia Academy High School. Top of the 7th inning, Gallia Academy 8, Fairland nothing. Couple of changes. Looks like we've got some shuffling going on. As we mentioned, Jack Allison batted for Maddox Delaney in the bottom of the 6th, and as a result, Delaney comes out of the game. Tyler Young, the senior, shuffles over. He's playing third base, and Jack Allison, the speedster, like you touched on, Matt, he is out in left field. And Logan Drummond still on the hill. So he's pitching well. He's dialed in. We talked about it in between innings. You know, you got these guys like we've touched on. Some other guys can throw, but when you got a guy that's dialed in like this, it's hard to say, hey, listen, we're going to pull you out.
Yeah, I think the one word that I'd use to cover Logan tonight is efficient. He has been very efficient on the mound. He's managed his pitches very well, and as a result, Fairland is scoreless on the board currently.
Drummond is currently at 70 pitches and 45 strikes. Number 24, I believe that's Brown. The starting pitcher for the evening takes the first ball low, ball 1.
Drummond comes set to deliver.
The ball's hit right at Luke Sisson, and he makes a spectacular leaping catch, just like you draw it up, Coach.
I think that would be a highlight reel on ESPN tonight. And Luke come away with the catch there. Very good job. Luke, another impressive junior on this roster. Doesn't see a whole lot of playing time, but makes the best of it every time he gets the
that'll
chance
bring
on the field.
Blankenship to the plate. That's one of those balls I don't think he even had time to think about whether or not he could drop it. But, hey, you know, hit it right at him, then you catch it. That's all this game is.
That's right.
Blankenship, first pitch at the knees, strike 1.
Yeah, the nice thing as we
Blankenship hits that ball hard.
very hard.
He smoked that ball over Jack Allison's head, and he's rounding first, headed to second. And it looks like he's going to pull up right there. But, Coach, that ball was absolutely smoked.
Yeah, I don't think Jack had a chance on that. I think it was over his head before he knew it, and that was a well-hit ball.
Yeah, that's, without a doubt, that's the best ball they've hit all day. They've had a couple of fly balls in the outfield, but Blankenship really hit that ball well. And that's part of, this is his third time seeing Drummond through the lineup, so it's one of the things the kids will talk about. Well, you've seen him, you should start to see him a little better. And Drummond's probably, fastball's dropped off a couple miles an hour, and his control's probably getting loose. He's only about 75 pitches, but that's when you see kids starting to get tired. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, he's been efficient, but that's a lot of pitches out of an arm here in the high school level.
Gillespie takes ball 1 up. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here, top of the 7th.
So Fairland threatening for one of the first times. Runner on second.
That ball is popped up behind short. Camden back, makes the play. Allison charging, but Camden comes on, makes the play, 2 down.
Very impressive catch by Beckett Camden. He motored out there in that swampy grassland and tracked that ball really well.
So that'll bring up the right fielder, I believe, on the pole. He's the DH, correction. Takes the first pitch outside. I think he's hit the ball, flown out to Foster twice today, I think.
Matthew Foster's had a lot of action out there on senior night in center field. Done a really good job tracking the ball down and making good plays out there.
We'll be doing our interview after the game with our player of the game, as we've done once this year. And there's a line drive through the third base side. Blankenship to third. Allison comes up, fields it cleanly. Blankenship, they didn't send him, so now we got runners on the corners with 2 outs, and that'll bring Fleming, the left-hander, up for Fairland. But as I was saying, we'll do an interview. Granted that Gallia Academy does hold on and win, doesn't give up an 8-run lead here and lose. We'll be interviewing the player of the game, and I think it's only fitting with it being senior night. We interview our 2 seniors on the squad. Matt, what do you think about that?
I think so. I think that's a great idea. Give those guys some opportunity to share some thoughts on their season.
Drummond deals to Fleming, fouls it behind home plate. 1 strike.
So Fairland threatening here in the top of the 7th. It's really the first time that they've threatened today. 2 outs.
Runners on the corners here. It's one of those situations where you don't really concern yourself too much with the runners. We just want to get the out here. Drummond deals. Fleming takes. Ball 1.
Like a little bit of confusion out there on the base path with the coaching staff and the runners. Looks like they wanted to steal and didn't get it that time.
Drummond misses. High and out. 2 balls, 1 strike to Fleming. Yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes it's an automatic call, and other times guys miss it. They're not sure, and coach is just trying to get things squared away. Ball 3 to Fleming. So I think this is a spot where, a guy like Logan has thrown a lot of pitches. He's thrown great, but he's starting to struggle to find the zone, even though there are 2 outs. Coach, do you put him on a long leash here? He just walked Fleming.
I don't know. Logan Drummond, like I said, he's somebody you can depend on. I don't know that you want to start running the score up here and giving Fairland a chance to get back in this ball game this late. But I think you trust the guy, and obviously we've got the bases loaded up on him now, and you don't want to see him put himself in a bad spot, but let's see what he can do.
Going to bring Cumming to the plate, the left fielder. First pitch taken in there at the letters for a strike, so that's a great sign right there. Like we touched on, you always get the first pitch strike, get ahead of the batter, and he did just that there, and count goes to 0-1. The ball swung on, missed, and 0-2 now to Cumming.
And I don't know what his stat is, but I think that may have been his first walk of the night.
I think you're correct. Coming into the inning, he'd only given up one hit, and that ball right on cue is hit right at Foster, coming on and make a sliding, diving catch to make the 3rd out of the game or the inning and finish this one here. It's a great play there to finish it by Foster. Got a little mud on his jersey, and Mom's not very excited, but she doesn't mind doing a little bit of laundry with a catch like that. So that'll wrap up the game here. We'll be right back with a post-game and an interview. But your final score here, Gallia Academy 8 and Fairland zilch. We'll be right back.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and now Pure Rock 98.7 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and Porter's Place featuring me, Porterhouse, comedian Jay Stein, the funny guy, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105, Pure Rock 99.5, and Pure Rock 98.7. Turn it up.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gallia Academy High School here. Bob Eastman in the field, Chris Delaney with Matt Champlin. We're going to run down a few stats for the game real quick. Then we're going to have our players of the game, our seniors Tyler Young and Matthew Foster, going to come over in just a second when they're done with their post-game talk from Coach Camden. But Matt, Fairland had 0 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors today. Gallia Academy 8 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors.
Yeah, and we talked a lot through the game about how efficient Gallia Academy was playing. You know, not a lot of errors. That's something that we struggled with all season, and we cleaned that up out here tonight. Excellent performance by Logan Drummond on the bump. I think right around 80 pitches.
Yeah, let me check on that. He had 87 pitches. Through 87 pitches, 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, only 2 strikeouts and 1 walk. But the big thing, no runs, no earned runs. So a great job by Logan Drummond to come on. And like I said, a great start to the week. That's Fairland, usually a pretty good ball club, and that's a conference team. So anytime we come out and win those games, those are always a plus for us.
Yeah, it's a big win, and I got to think that Coach Harris and Coach Camden are really happy in the huddle out there right now by the great performance by their ball club tonight. Where they put a lot of pieces together. The chemistry, the communication was excellent out there tonight, and the end result was an 8-0 win.
Again, we're waiting on our 2 seniors to come over, and we're going to do an interview. We'll be waiting for them. Until then, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for our post-game interview with our 2 seniors here. We got Tyler Young and Matthew Foster. Great game by both of them. Foster played really well on the field. Guys, Tyler, I know it's your last game, and there's a lot of stuff going through your head, but tell me what these last 4 years have been like for you just playing here at Gallia Academy.
Really, just gotta come to practice. Gotta be there. You gotta want to be there.
Right.
Come on your own time, grind. I mean, it's been fun. It's over fast. Yeah, made the most of it.
Yeah, we're not done yet, though.
No.
What about you, Matt?
It's different every year.
Yeah.
Different players, different team. I mean, you just got to learn how to play with everybody.
Yeah.
So, like, it's good, though.
So for someone, let's say there's a kid here, let's say there's a kid sitting right here, what would you tell him? What is the number one thing for him to be successful as a high school baseball player? What's he have to do?
The small things.
The small things? Matt?
Be 100 all the time.
Be 100 all the time?
Be 100 all the time.
No days off?
No days off. No days off.
Is there anything that you guys would like to say to this team right here? I mean, we're not done. We've got a few more games left, but anything you want to say to these guys? You'll be gone next year. They're going to be taking over.
I think they're a great group of boys. They just need these last couple games we came together, they need to stay like that. Just keep teamwork, hopes high. Keep playing as we have.
Completely agree there. Yeah. You got to play as a team if you want to win as a team. All play as all one.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you coming and giving us a minute. I know you want to get out there and rake the field and get everything taken care of, but we really appreciate what you've done and for leadership you've given these guys. And like I said, getting hot at the right time is one of the most important things when it comes to high school baseball. You've got a few more games left, then we've got the tournament. And you guys get rolling in the tournament. It's no telling how long. Nobody says you have to lose. So, again, we really appreciate you guys coming over here and taking a minute. And thank you for everything you've done for Gallia Academy Baseball.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And with that, we're going to wrap up the stream again. Gallia Academy 8, Fairland 0. For Matt Champlin, I'm Chris Delaney, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.